I am relaxed and ready. I don't feel like I'm under any form of pressure. It is just excitement. That is according to Ruben Amorim, who spoke for the first time as head coach of Manchester United in an official interview with the club. Welcome to the United Hot Sport. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. How has been your day, fam? As we do count down to the new era officially kick-starting with the boss now officially getting to do media duties. We are going to get that interview dropping in just minutes from now. It will be dropping probably by the time you watch this. The official detailed interview will be dropped. That is to us subscribers to Manchester United platforms. If you're not, you have to wait a bit and watch it tomorrow. But it is going to be dropping in a few minutes. But we've got ASAPs of what is in this interview. And Ruben Amorim has clearly stated that he's not under any form of pressure. He's relaxed. He's only excited to be manager of Manchester United. Probably it's because there are no crowds. It's not match day, but he feels ready to go and he loves the feeling. The guy is so geared up and willing to go, and you love to see it. So that's what, of course, he has spoken. But I'll be giving you details from this interview as we go on later in the morning, early morning tomorrow. Expect a big interview. It could even come as you sleep. Of course, it's next morning after midnight. It could come at that time. I will be giving you details from his interview, the key things he's spoken about. Of course, besides being him being relaxed, there's already a lot of talk and speculations about which players he could bring in, which players he would want to add to the team, which player, especially from his side, former side, Sporting Lisbon. So there's a lot of talk in terms of that. In terms of that, but what exactly is his plan for the team, his playing style, how his management style, how he would love to see things change at Manchester United. All this is in the detail of that interview. Beautiful stuff. And I'll tell you what, if you get to watch bits of it, it will endear you more to this guy. It will endear you more to this guy. Now, there's been a question, guys, because one of the people you expect him, of course, to be thinking about as he even gives this interview is his former striker, Viktor Gyökeres, because he has been top of the talk. People talking about whether or not Gyökeres will join Man United or not. And perhaps he may not talk about him in the interview, but someone has dropped a question, and I was interested. Someone asked me a question and said, "Where there's this whole fascination about Gyökeres coming in with Ruben Amorim, but is he even that good?" And I paused for a second and thought about it, and I'm thinking it's a valid question. Now, it's one thing for you to score goals for fun in the Portuguese top flight, in the Portuguese La Liga, or the Portuguese Liga rather, but it's a whole different ball game doing the same at a club like Manchester United day in and day out in the English Premier League with all the eyes on you. Now, is Gyökeres that kind of player good enough to really go into battles? Because we know for certain that Arsenal will be looking for a striker at the next available opportunity. And if they hear that Gyökeres can move in the next summer, they'll certainly be asking and inquiring about him and whether or not he's there. So, what I'm trying to say is that without a doubt, there could be a bidding war looming between Man United and Arsenal and other clubs, because even Real Madrid is spoken about because they are struggling with the number nine. They do not have a number nine. They are forcing Kylian Mbappe into that position, which he doesn't seem to be enthused to play. So Gyökeres could be one of those. Now, is he that good? Is he really that good? That's the question. Is he better than Rasmus Højlund, for example? Now, this is what I think. We know what he has done at Sporting now, but the reason certainly we but it's not by mistake that he's not playing for a major club in Europe. In fact, there are people who feel, top people in football, who feel that they are not certain he's cut out to hit it in a major club in Europe. And it's not by mistake that at 26 going 27, he has not yet attracted such a huge club. And it cannot just be about the buyout clause because clubs really spend big sums of money on top strikers if they are really good enough. So it's not just that. But the thing is, for me, whereas I've said it continuously here before that Gyökeres, for me, reminds me of he brings Suarez vibes into me. He reminds me his playing style, leave alone the character, the personality, but the playing style on the ball, typically, and the way he drops, and then the passion he expresses in the way he plays his striking, the focus on getting the goal, the animation and creativity, disturbing, putting defenses under pressure. it sort of gives me low-key Suarez vibes that have not been there in the Premier League for so long. And that cannot mean that certainly he can flourish the way Suarez did. And I'm not trying to compare him to Luis Suarez at all, that he can be at his level. Suarez is one of the best players to ever play, I think, in the English Premier League for me, in my view. But his style for me reminds me of that profile of a striker, the strike style. Now, can he go ahead and deliver such? The reason why he's top of the talk is not just because of his personal abilities, but it's mostly because he has flourished under Ruben Amorim. And that's why Man United even has an edge over Arsenal in the event that United would really want to go ahead and get Amorim, and rather than get Gyökeres to follow Amorim. And of course, you read between the lines, the statements flying in, and you feel like it's likely, it could be in the plan for Ruben Amorim, especially if Rasmus Højlund does not perform in this 1 year leading to in the remainder of the season leading to the next summer. But the thing is not just entirely about him being a naturally extremely talented player. It's about the fact that he has shown that he can perform under Amorim because Amorim has turned him into the star that he is. We are talking a player who failed to really hit it in England before, playing for Swansea, Coventry, and all these small teams in England, goes in Portugal, and under this young manager, he scores goals for fun. So for a player, you don't want to depart. If you've got any chance to stick with that manager, you want to stick with them because he understands how he plays. Perhaps Amorim is the kind of manager who sets up his team to play for him. So that's the reason why he's top of the talk between when it comes to transfers and Ruben Amorim. So that's the reason. It's not just for his for him being out of this world, because whereas what things he has done have shown that he could be out of this world, there are no guarantees that in England, in the biggest football club in the world, in the top flight, with the pressure and expectation that is going to be on the back of Ruben Amorim and every signing he makes, because that's one of the biggest issues United has had, poor recruitment. Certainly, there is not, we cannot be sure based on just his personal, just on individual merit. Whereas, yes, he's decent. The fact that he has worked with Amorim, that's why we think maybe he could be a better fit for Manchester United than what we have. But again, we cannot be sure until we've seen Rasmus Højlund, perform or fail. So that's why this, for me, this remainder of the season is going to be a critical time for Højlund. But of course, for him to be able to get any close to convincing Amorim that he's the guy to lead the line, he has got to be fit. And that's an issue because Højlund, for a few times, has been slowed down by a lack of fitness, injuries, and stuff. And we've seen that whenever he returns from injuries, he struggles a bit to pick his form again and get back to scoring goals. But probably in a new playing style under Amorim, where they play for a number 9, where players are feeding the number 9, he will be able to certainly cope and get the goals in. And perhaps at the end of the summer, at the end of the season, rather, in the summer, there won't be need to spend another 60 million or so pounds on signing another number 9, but rather celebrating that, Erik Ten Hag did give us a good player, because many of us feel that Højlund is potentially a very good player. By the way, Rasmus Højlund and Christian Eriksen, together with several other people, Caroline Wozniacki and the likes, athletes, have got a company that sells energy drinks. I think they are partners in a big business, global brand that sells energy drink brand, which is good to see that these kids are using this so much money they earn to try and do good business. But anyhow, that's it. But for now, that's it, guys. In a few minutes, the interview will be dropping officially. I will be, of course, watching it fully, and then later on dissect to you the things he has said and what I pick from them. Certainly, and share with you here on the United Sport. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. Do I think United should bring in Gyökeres? Not yet. Let's first give a chance to Rasmus Højlund and see what he can do under such a boss. Like, share, and subscribe. Cheers.